So if we do an application, what we're going to do is we're going to use our imagination instead of a partner. Yes, obviously y'all could be partners, but for these purposes today, let's use our imagination. So the first move you worked on today was grasp the bird's tail. Okay, the opening move. Can I see that real quick? Just start at the beginning. Go ahead and do commencement, step left, commencement, and everything. Just want to see what y'all are doing. Yes, that's as far as I wanted to see. That's what I understood you were covering today.
This is what we covered today.
Right. I got that. Yeah. I just wanted to see you do it. Okay, cool. So now, when you do it, let's look at the first principle of Tai Chi. Why is Tai Chi powerful as a martial art? It's a rhetorical question, unless you really know the answer. It's powerful as a martial art because it presumes that you are weaker than the opponent. So if you are weaker than the opponent, how do you proceed? So one way is you do not use force against force, right? So you have to assume you are not as strong as the person punching, therefore you can't. When we practice push hands, this is where we get to actually learn this principle. Okay, so when we return from COVID, we do a Master's Path class on Fridays, push hands. Okay, most people hate push hands, mostly because they suck at it for a very long time. It's like a lot of things. If you start doing some sparring, you may not like it. People are hitting you, they're getting close to you, you're not good at it. Okay, so the same is with push hands. You're not good at it, and if you are weaker, you don't understand how you could possibly get better against the stronger students. Okay, well that's a conversation for another time, but it does bridge to learning applications. So in Little Dragons, they learn the best block is what? It's called the don't be there block. Okay, so it's evading. So we have a form of evading, and then we have things called sticking, and we'll worry about that later. So evading. So you have to imagine that I'm hauling off to throw an aggressive, full body weight punch at you like that. Okay, just like maybe an untrained, full weight body punch, and it's coming at your face. Okay, so we are going to get our face out of the way. Okay, that's the first and most important thing. The second thing is to bring the hand up. Your mind will do the opposite. It will, in the future, it will be important that your hand come up first, but your hand isn't the thing blocking it. You didn't block it. You got out of the way and touched it without moving it. So we have to think of, in training purposes right now, we have to imagine getting out of the way. So imagine I'm doing this, yep, and then you're gonna take a little step left and turn, right? So it's like, did you ever see Spider-Man? The first one. You know, there's so many versions. But you know the one where he fights the kid in the hallway and everything slows down. And so the bully's punching him straight at his face and he's like slow motion, he looks cross-eyed at the punch like, what is that? You know, so you have to kind of think about it. The first thing is get out of the way. So you're here, and if you need to step, you need to step. I mean, you have to respond to that punch, not to the rules of how the form was taught to you. Because that's just to pass the form along over time, so each generation can keep learning. Okay, it is like the alphabet. Now you need to learn to spell and make words and sentences. Okay, so the alphabet is strict. It's A, B, C, D. It's not A, B, E, D. Right? It has an order to it. So your form has a way you're supposed to do it. Then you use that. You use those letters in words and form sentences based on who's talking to you. Okay, or who's punching at you. So now imagine. Who has a good imagination? Okay? Okay, good. So imagine the punch, and it's going to be a right punch. It's going to be like just an aggressive, angry, out of control punch, just like in Spider-Man. And you step, and you turn, and you look cross-eyed at it like you're in the Spider-Man movie. And then as a secondary thought, you bring the hand up. You're like, oh, whew. Okay, because maybe you will do something with it. We don't know. Okay. So take a look at it. Take a step, bring the hand up, boom. Yes, that's it. Bring it up, okay? And at the end of it, go ahead and shift over like you know what the form does. And when the hand comes up and you turn and you shift over, you're going to feel some of that rotation in your hand too. That goes with it. Yes. And don't forget the pivot, just like now we go back to our ABCs. You stepped, you shifted, you turned, you brought the hand up, and then as you shifted to the right, you can rotate that hand over. Okay? And you remember, when you learn the 8 energies, ward off, that's that move, ward off. Everyone in this group, green and above, would already know this. This is also a black sash training meant for beginners. So ward off has a image, and its image is, anyone? It's sky.
That's right.
Its image is sky. You have it on you have it as your face mask. You could just turn it around and look at it. Okay. So its image is sky. Sky has clouds in it. Cloud hands is made up of a bunch of ward-offs. Okay, so it's sky, 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 sky. Well, we aren't on cloud hands yet, but we have a cloud hands feeling in our arm. Is we've taken our step, we've shifted and brought the hand up, and we turn and we've connected, and then as we shift, that hand turns over, like the cloud hands. Okay? We've been using our imagination. Take a look at them. Ready? Imagine an aggressive, untrained punch is coming forward at you, and you get out of the way, and you turn, and there.
Yeah.
Okay? Please go ahead, it's okay. And then now use your own imagination and try it on your own. So we just talked about the best block not be there.
Don't shift your weight into your front leg though.
Oh no, we did do that.
Oh, you did shift
Yeah,
your
yeah,
front leg,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So let's do it together so she knows.
So I can, yes, sorry,
So-
speaking of.
Okay, so here comes that aggressive punch. We get out of the way. We Spider-Man movie, look at it without the hand first. Then we bring the hand up, and then we go ahead and shift and rotate it.
Yes.
So we add a little extra.
Yes.
So in the long run, yes, it would be important the hand come up right away. But in the short run, if we really want our body to move out of the way, then we're going to have to pretend we don't have our hands. And what are we assuming when we use applications in Tai Chi?
They're stronger than we are.
They're stronger than you are. Yeah. And I'll finish with this, and then I'll turn things back over to head instructor. I've had a couple students that came to my Friday push hands class over the years. The best ones ever were over 80 years old. Okay? And one was a male, one was a female. One was Bernie Zemmel. He passed away many years ago. He was a student who was at that age, you know, when I had my school 18 years ago. Engineering professor at UT. And I said, how are you so good at this? He said, well, if I fall, I'm going to break my bones. And so he can't be more tense and more aggressive because instinctually he knows that's going to create a lever and he's going to hit the ground. And Ms. Campbell, who also passed away a couple years ago, she was my best Friday push hands practitioner. Weighed probably 90 pounds, wet, and you would wonder, the only time you could ever get her in push hands, meaning causing her to lose her balance, is if she decided to push me. If she tried to push me, then I had something that I could redirect her on. But I couldn't lay a hand on her because she found the way out of everything. Anything I tried to push on her, she made into water. Yeah, very interesting. And I said, she didn't get any training to do that. She showed up to the class, got the basics, and then was able to do it. Why? Same thing. She's over 80 years old. She says, I can't fall on the ground. So you would think being more tense would prevent her from falling on the ground. No, she weighs 90 pounds. All of us could pick her up and throw her on the ground. She had to yield. She had to yield. So that's the first thing, is on all those moves, is to do that. I also talked about the form being the ABCs, so it doesn't have to strictly be exactly the same for applications, because now you're having a conversation.
Yeah, I like that conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so, let me see it again. I like this Spider-Man. All right, so imagine, you guys have good imaginations, that really belligerent jerk is just coming full force at your face with a very deep right punch. What are you gonna do? Yes, yes, and very good. Yes. Yay. Yeah. All right, so, this, bear with us, it's a little bit of an experiment here with COVID times. I know you guys share your own bubble, so if you guys do the application, I'm not gonna be like, don't touch each other. But for everyone else, it's just up to your own discretion. Obviously trying to breathe in anybody's face, maybe not do a lot of contact. I'll work with you, Ms. West, and we'll be socially distant. But with kind of in a pantomime way, try it a little bit as well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, if I may use Mr. Watkins, so not gonna touch you. I'm not gonna hurt you because we're not gonna touch you. But I just kind of want to show the camera how this can be done in a quasi-safe distance way. So it's a little bit different, you're imagining, but I'm actually going to give you something. So, wah, and then where the hand would go. You would just, yep. So, whoops, yes. Do you see kind of how we can do this where we're not breathing in each other's faces and spaces? Yeah. And it's a right punch. I'll have you gentlemen work together because you kind of have your lunch bubble, I think, right?
Good.
So, okay.
Our lunch bubble.
Your lunch bubble, and then we will go. I will not
Do
do
you
that.
want to punch your?
So, do you have a good sense of how this works? All right, so go nice and slow. Yes. Still a little bit challenging. So for you, a little bit more of that wrong back, just a little bit more, so that, like, literally don't let it get to your face. That's your job. Don't let this get to your face. Yes, see, like, if you just tell yourself what to do, don't let it get to your face will naturally get out of the way. Make sense? And protect your knees and don't let it hit your face. Yes, very good.
Because I gotta run away. Me and my walker gotta run. We gotta roll away.
I don't know if you remember that.
But to me, that's one of the helpful things, like, what about, because you can get bogged down in hands, don't let it hit your face, right?
I gotta escape.
You have to, don't hit my face, and let them just keep going that way. Yeah. One more time. Yes. Excellent, very good. Let me check everything else. Yes. Don't push down. Don't push down. That's, we're gonna ting.
Ting.
So, one thing that, before we get on to the second part of this application, which we probably won't get to today, but we'll pick it up on Thursday, because we started a little late, we'll go over, but resist the urge to push down on that. That's a natural thing. If you find yourself doing it, do not beat yourself up. It happens. But then resist it. So it's here without pushing down on them. Because what am I going to do next? Here, and then you're gonna ward off this way. So all I'm trying to do is, I was telling Ms. West, I'm just trying to get my face out of the way of this punch.
Right.
While, as she commented correctly, while protecting my knees. So I'm like, so the big punch is coming here, and this is a lot to think about. Get your face out of the way of that punch.
That also prevent that from coming back at you. You've got the hand.
Absolutely, this just checks them, and it keeps them from getting in my space. In a perfect world, just like with clown hands, they're gonna throw a punch, and they're just gonna keep going that way, because they put a lot of effort into punching me, and all of a sudden, I gave them a trap door, basically. Does that make sense? They make a little contact here, which tricks their brain into thinking they've made contact, but they haven't. Their momentum is going to carry them that way. What we're gonna add on next time is, as they're going that way, we use their momentum to make a block into the side of the body. That's where that ward off left is. Does that make sense? So it's don't get hit, which is why I wouldn't push down here. There's a little grab, and then you turn the waist and you strike into the ribs.
If you push the arm down, you'd be closing off that area, wouldn't you?
Correct. And you're using your body strength, your arm strength, not your body strength.
Wouldn't that throw you off balance to where you're more vulnerable to be attacked?
It can absolutely do that, but also it's just, if we're trying to assume that they're stronger than we are, why would I want just my arm to be trying to push down on their arm, when really I'm just like, get out of my way. Does that make sense? All right, new life skill, it's leopard. Let's do the leopard. You guys are gonna be pros at this because it doesn't stand on one leg.
I just got used to that one.
You will see it again and again.
Yeah.
All right, so the path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. You got it. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. Path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles. Front camera. So it's here, path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. So basically a leopard paw is take your hands and then crunch all your fingers and put your index finger up. So it isn't just like I'm holding up a number one. It's a claw with an up finger. And what this is used for, it's typically like a palm strike type technique. So you don't want a limp hand. Tiger claw is a grab. This is a striking hand. So path of self-mastery requires a focused mind, and it's a focused mind, and then you're going to step out to a bow stance and push out with this hand, sees no obstacles. So path of self-mastery requires a focused mind. A focused mind sees no obstacles.
What do you call that stance?
That's a bow stance, B-O. So it's more of a kung fu type stance. It's narrower, it's not tightrope, but it's narrower than double dragons, and it's longer. So it's a very common martial arts pose. Alrighty, let's bow out.
Head instructor?
About to intermediate level students and students at home, Full Access training is dismissed. Good job, everybody.